Okay, here we are with Kassadin. Haven't played him in a while, or at least we haven't seen him on the channel in a little while. Yep, I'll put my runes up on the screen, but the things have changed a little bit since last time. Last time I was running a lot of Unsealed Spellbook, which has now been changed. It's still okay for Kassadin, and I used to run Electrocute for just more burst, but I think that's overkill. That's why I run Unsealed in the first place. And what I've seen quite a few Kassadins do is run Fleet Footwork just to... wait, am I even right about that? Not sure. I'm not sure if Kassadins are running Fleet Footwork, but either way, I am just kind of help with the laning phase. Give a little bit of sustain, and with my AD build, it of course makes a lot of sense, because we don't really build, you know, Bloodthirster or anything like that, so... This is good enough. Gunblade, of course, is viable. The first thing to notice about this Jarvan is that he does not have Flash. Another rune you might see on the page is Shield Bash, which does work with Kassadin's Q, as far as I'm aware. If it wasn't working, then I don't know where my damage came from. Also, Cogmore was AFK for the first few minutes due to some weird league crashing bug, and the Mastery 7 Jhin main is acting automatic, asking us to remake, and the 1 million points Mastery Point Nami is something I wanted to see. Anyway, Jarvan made a big mistake, and he doesn't have Flash, so he literally cannot escape whatsoever, so he just takes the free kill. From this point, I'm just going to farm and try to control the wave as much as I can. If it's a melee like Jarvan, then I can completely do, you know, fairly decent trades using, you know, Shield Bash, using my W auto reset, and actually, you know, compete in the lane a little bit. Not nearly as much as some other laners, and there are many laners where you just simply can't do that. There's another game which I might show, even though it's a loss, where I fight a Darius and he, you know, I can't farm, essentially. But I still do kind of good in that game. Anyway, Jarvan is still pushing it up to my lane, and I'm just going to try to freeze it here as much as I can, whilst getting as much CS as I can. And of course, I'm Wing at basically every opportunity, that's so my tier will start growing again. One thing that I really kind of, I guess, stopped playing Kassadin for before was that W, because it doesn't have a mana cost, would not proc tier, so it was really hard to stack it, and therefore I was better off just playing normal Kassadin. And I did play a bit of normal AP Kassadin, actually. Of course, I can play AP Kassadin, I just actually tend to prefer doing it this way, and I see very little point in buying Seraphs instead of Muramana. So yeah, I'm just still farming and allowing Jarvan to do Jarvan things, and if Jarvan ever screws up, I might smack him a little bit. He pokes me with his flag, looking to do a knock-up, and I try to bait a little bit. With his ward up, I'm assuming he's able to see Udyr coming for the gank. Let me put the Fog of War on my team. Anyway, so Cogmore did come in, and Cogmore is at 3 CS while Jin's at 48. So it's not looking good for the bot lane. Cogmore is late game, so as long as he does get some CS at some point in the game, he can buy a Rage Blade or whatever and just start dealing damage just by right-clicking and become relevant regardless. But as well as that, if you haven't seen this before, my AD Kassadin build, which I might explain briefly in a minute, is ridiculously good in late game, kind of like KO at level 16 only, with instead of doing a ton of damage, you do a ton of dashes with a ton of damage and a ton of tankiness. Anyway, let's just look at that again. So since Jarvan wasted his gap closer, and I'm now level 6, I've got Shield Bash active, and not sure if we could see that Shield Bash smack. Pretty sure it works anyway. Fleet Footwork helps me keep up with him. And just one last art to hit him there, and I flashed. Unnecessary flash. I would have only tanked the one tower shot even if I just walked. But yeah. Another cool thing about Fleet Footwork, it synergies with the ult, because when you ult, it will work with the Energize passive. Not saying you should start building Static Shiv, but, you know, if you do that, be my guest, I guess. Just don't do it in ranked. Anyway, if you haven't seen this build before, I might do a guide on it soon, because it's been a very long time since I last did a guide on it. It works with, well, I'll talk about it when I get the chance to. Anyway, I teleport to mid, where Jarvan was ganking, and Victor got quite low, but he didn't. And I was thinking that Victor would kill Victor. Sorry, Jarvan would kill Victor before I actually got there, but he didn't. Anyway, so I chase him down with ult and kill him. He's only got Phage, and again, he's got no flash, which is really bad for him. So yeah, it works by stacking a tier and getting Muramana, And Muramana will has a passive where it does a kind of like, it burns your mana for damage. I'm going to kill this Kha'Zix. No, I only scare him off. So yeah, it burns your mana, and for double the amount it burns, it deals damage. I believe physical damage, or is it magic damage? No, it's physical. And on Kassadin's Q, being a single target ability, it will also proc it in addition to auto attacks. And on W, because it's both an auto attack and a single target spell, it procs it twice. And if you use it as a reset, that's 3 procs plus Q, that's 4 procs, and then anything else you do. The more mana you have, the more times you can use your ultimate and abuse your ultimate. And the more stacks you have on ultimate, the more damage it will do. It also scales with mana, so just buying a ton of mana with Muramana and other stuff like that will boost Kassadin himself. And of course, Muramana gains more damage and more AD, bonus AD, based on the amount of mana you have. So building things like Iceborne Gauntlet, which I do, Rod of Ages, Righteous Glory, you know, whatever that provides mana, Abyssal Mask, will all work really, really well. Jarvan's really low and he has no flash, so scaring him off is easy, and if he even tries to farm, I can usually trade with him quite well, or even kill him. I'm not quite confident with being not level 11 that I can cleanly kill him. I could probably kill him there, but if Kha'Zix happened to appear and I'm currently unaware of where he is, then I would I'd die. But anyway, this is probably one of the best early games I've ever had on Kassadin. Normally what happens is that I have a bad lane and then have to come back later and start killing it in teamfights. But here I'm able to get a fairly early Rod of Ages, considering I went tier in Glacial beforehand. And that's going to stack. Rod of Ages gives tons of mana, health, a great passive for sustain, and of course AP. Like, just because I'm AD Kassadin doesn't mean I can't build AP. Funny glitch minion there, by the way, if you see it by this hour. Just kind of guarding it until I give it a smack. And yeah, 40% CDR means more ults, it means more Ws, which means that you get more resets. So I just come in, I'm ready for this little fight here, and really concentrating on that Jhin. Jhin was really tunnel vision sniping Victor there. Now that I've gotten going, I've got plenty of mana, I've even got a blue buff now, I'm really able to chase down anyone I want. If they don't have, you know, flash, if they don't have mobility, tier 2 boots, I can chase and kill pretty much anyone unless they can kill me first. And now that I've got my armor and a lot of Aegis, it's not that easy for them to do that. Even Fleet Footwork is going to be giving me decent sustain in mid-fight. But I'm still going to be quite careful about my things. 1 CC and I can still die relatively quickly. Yeah, I tried to get some damage on Nami, and while she runs away, I'm trying to get some damage on Jhin, but as you can see, you know, he is fairly fed. He does have an Essence Reaver, so I take quite a lot of damage and have to go back and recall. If I killed him, I'd die to Nami, and if I killed Nami, I'd die to him. But I come back, and you can see me spamming my ultimate to get the damage up. It's currently at 3 stacks. This also doubles the amount of mana it takes, which is why having low mana means that you usually can't do this kind of tactic. Obviously, you can build tons of mana on AP, but things like Death Cap, you know, 3,800 gold worth of not building mana. It really kills your, I guess, your mobility and your, I guess, utility as well. He's very much inspired by Aqua Dragon's AD Malzahar, which he doesn't play anymore because AP is simply better now. But yeah. Kha'Zix tries to defend a tower, so we just do a clean tower dive for the Shen ultimate. I didn't know he'd ultimate me, but he did, so there we go. And I just push the wave, and it's getting really easy for me to just dominate. They're still the kind of villain of the game with Jhin and Nami bot lane. If they didn't play so cocky, they might have actually been able to carry. Cogmore's got his Rage Blade, but only 58 CS and 4 deaths. But since he has Rage Blade, just by using W, he will be extremely useful. But right now I'm just trying to be in kind of the area where team fights might happen, so I can get the jump on Jhin, or just anyone who's out of position. The enemy doesn't really have proper armor pen. Kha'Zix has got 2 lethality items, but no Last Whisper. So I'm just I go in for a bit of a trade on Jhin. I'm able to get out with flash before dying, and then I do a full combo to kill him. It's not very clean because I don't have Muramana yet, but the Sheen procs from Iceborne Gauntlet not only slow him, but they do plenty of damage, since Kassadin's base AD isn't exactly bad. And of course, Mana Moon's AD helps a lot as well. Now at 708, we want to... I'm doing pretty well, and we can call Baron now that Jhin is dead. They have no real chance of stealing. Victor uses stopwatch, just checking it still works. And then we're able to just kind of dominate. You see, now I've got my Muramana, and my Q is actually doing respectable damage. Yes, it will deal more damage, and you will get more damage by building full AP, by building Deathcap, by building Lichbane. But then you don't have 144 armor like I do. You don't have, how much health do I get? 2,300. You aren't going to have as many defensive stats. And these defensive stats help you take down tankier opponents, and it helps you, I guess, sustain in the fight a lot longer, which lets you get more ults off, which lets you get more W procs off. And you're also able to really confidently approach someone like Kha'Zix, because you know he can't kill you. No Last Whisper, like, what's the lethality to my build? My build is very much anti-assassin. So it's like a super mobile bruiser that does really respectable burst. And you just saw that damage that went on Nami. Now he's going to ult me, but just ult on his face and he'll die. And yeah, at this point, Jhin respawns. Come get it, he says. Jhin is their most powerful member, with no doubt, and he's not bad at them at playing him. So a bit of a risk trying to get him there. I even screw up a little bit, but I get the Pentakill. I don't think I've ever gotten a Pentakill on Kassadin before. Both down to bad luck, simply because usually I'd get a Quadra and someone would steal it. But then, yeah, I get the Penta, and then I focus on just closing out the game by getting this top inhibitor. Procking Sheen whenever I can, and of course using the Baron buff as much as I can. At really low health and outnumbered, I want to get away, but then, really good, I'm going to give credit to where credit is due. I accidentally skipped over it. There we are. So Jin's ulting me, and he gets some decent shots off. It's together with Nami, and at this point, Jhin doesn't W me. Well, he might have, but he W'd over Nami, which is exactly where I went to get a greedy little kill, because I had 4 stacks of passive. So that was nice by Jhin. It doesn't mean much in the grand scheme, but yeah, I'm no longer 15-0, I'm now 15-1, which makes me really sad. Anyway, we just kind of respawn and then I guess win the game. Well, my team's winning the game anyway, and they can do it quite easily because Jhin is over here, he's done. So I just screw around with Jhin a little bit. And then by this point the game is pretty much over. I've literally right-clicked him at this point. Not even ulting. And then there we have it. 15-1-8. And the only death was because of greed. I could have easily made that 15-0-8. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching this one. Maybe a bit of a stomp, but our bot lane didn't do that good, so it's kind of evens out. That Jhin could have spiraled out of control if I didn't start roaming in the mid game, maybe, or if Victor and Ude didn't do so well as well. But we've got another game coming up, which I'm probably going to record right after this one, where it is a loss, but I do quite well even from behind, and I'm going to even look at maybe what I could have done better to potentially turn that game around. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions about AD Kassadin, or if you want to see more AD Kassadin, or if you want to see more Thresh top, or if you have any other off-meta suggestions that I might want to try, do let me know, and I'll see what I can do in the near future. But for now, I'll see you guys next time.